It's actually surprising how many characters we have already seen for Ananta, formerly known as Project Mugen, and I'll be showcasing at least 16 characters and what we know about them so far, like their weapons. For some of these characters we will also take a closer look at their in-game 3D models, which was officially released on Ananta's website. Let me know in the comments down below which of these characters you like the most. In Ananta there seems to be a choice between male and female for the protagonist. The male main character looks like this with brown hair, and the female main character looks like this with also brown hair. The main character is called Captain, or for short, Cap. While I'm not sure how exactly weapon choices will work in Ananta if there is any, the main character seems to be using a chainsaw as their weapon, and there is also a scene where they use a gun, and of course they also have this weapon which might be usable with all characters from what I have seen, with this string that allows them to pull objects and basically become Spider-Man. One interesting fact about the main character is that they have completely changed how the main character looks like with a recent trailer, and in the previous trailers the main character used to look like this. He used to have black hair, but I kinda like the new version as it looks more refined. One last thing I have noticed is that in the trailer we see the main character with different outfits, so I wonder if we will be able to choose an outfit for the main character, which would be pretty awesome, or maybe it is just in some cutscenes. Next we have Lykaia. Lykaia is the character we first see in the new trailer, and she seems to be a fox girl with fox ears and a tail. Lykaia seems to be using a two-handed weapon that looks like a spear, but we can't see the whole weapon yet, and we can only see it from this picture, so it is quite hard to tell what exactly it is. We also get to see her take a car from a citizen, and when I looked into her lore a bit, she seems to be regarded as an officer of some sort, with authority, which means she's probably a cop. If you look closely at this video, she is showing her badge to the citizen, and the citizen gives the car to her. This all makes sense if you take a look at her uniform. She seems to have handcuffs, so she is probably working with the police. Next we have Aileen. Aileen seems to be a maid character, and while we don't know what weapon she uses, we got to see her for the first time in a recent trailer. She seems to like playing Mahjong and is referred to as the Valkyrie, and one of the comments on this post says, "Isn't she the owner of Dream Garden Cafe?" Which confirms that she owns her own cafe as a maid. She also seems to hit the gym and work out, so maybe it is one of her hobbies, which is pretty cool. Then there is Ringo. We lack a lot of information about this character. We do get to see her play some volleyball on the beach with another character, which we will get to in a bit in this video. Now, if you didn't know, Ringo means apple in Japanese, and when it comes to her weapons, we don't really know what she does or uses, but she does have two ball-looking objects that kinda looks like apples, so maybe her name is related to them. Another thing I have realized about Ringo is that she has some scissors on her outfit as a decoration, which could mean that her occupation could be related to something with scissors, like maybe a hairstylist or something, but for now we don't know much more about her. Next we have Taffy. Taffy seems to be a rabbit girl with rabbit ears and a fluffy rabbit tail. She also has a motorcycle that she uses to travel around in the city, and just a fun fact, there is a post about her saying that her motorcycle is faster than cars, which is pretty cool. But her motorcycle isn't only there to travel around in the city, it turns out this motorcycle is Taffy's weapon too. She seems to use the motorcycle to attack her enemies, and with her ultimate, she drinks a cola and goes frenzy with it. Interesting enough, at the end of her ult, we see her wielding a two-handed hammer for a second, so I wonder if she can change her motorcycle into a two-handed hammer that she will be able to use. But regardless, I like her unique weapon style, which is pretty cool. Looking at Taffy's in-game model, she seems to like speed with some speed arrow icon decorations everywhere, from her hairpin, back of her outfit, and even under her shoes. Next we have Dila. From what I can see in some of the trailers for Ananta, Dila seems to be playing a big part in the story, and she is also a bit mysterious, saying that regarding her eye colors, she won't tell us and it is a secret for now. She also plays some volleyball on the beach with Ringo, which I mentioned earlier in this video, and she is also in a bikini, which I wonder if this game will have different outfits available for all characters, which would be awesome, or if it's just a thing in a cinematic or something. As for her weapon, she seems to be using a two-handed two-handed sword, which you can see clearly from this photo, and there is also some footage of her using the sword in combat. The sword looks a bit different in the game from the picture, but it looks pretty cool regardless, and she might be one of my favorite characters so far. Next is Bansy. Bansy is one of the first characters we saw back in Project Mugen. Bansy seems to like graffiti a lot, and when you look at her outfit, you can easily tell this with all the graffiti on it. Bansy uses a paintball gun as her weapon, and she also has two spray cans that she uses as explosives. We also got to see her ult in a recent trailer for the first time, so it seems like her ult is drawing graffiti with her spray cans, and it does huge damage. There is also this part where she says this. This gives me the idea that maybe her graffiti can become alive and talk, but for now we don't know if this is related to her or not. I think Bansy's character and weapons are pretty dope, and I hope she will be good when the game releases. Next we have Mechanika. Mechanika is a mechanic, hence the name, and she seems to like repairing stuff and collecting spare parts. She also has a mechanical pet which seems to be a sheep. She uses this sheep to attack her enemies, and it probably functions as her weapon. We have only seen limited footage of her fighting a boss and some combat animations that could potentially be her ultimate in the game. She also has a bell necklace that I think she probably uses to call her pet, but maybe it's just cosmetic. We also have a male character in the game, and this character's name is Alan. Alan uses yo-yos as his weapons, and I've gotta say, his attacks looks pretty cool, but unfortunately this is the only time we have ever seen his attacks so far. There is also a possibility that he likes playing basketball, but I am not 100% sure if it is him in this video, but I think it's highly likely since he is the only male character we know of right now, excluding the main character. Then we have a character called Mimiko, the girl on the left with glasses. Mimiko seems to be a live streamer, and we got to see her for the first time recently. She was streaming with Taffy, and Taffy fell asleep while driving, and Mimiko was streaming it. But that's all we know about this character for now, and it seems like she likes farming content on her stream. Next we have some characters which I don't know their names yet, but we actually got to see a lot about some of them. The first character is this demon girl with her demon tail and horns on her head. She might be a succubus or something, but for now I don't know for sure, so let's just call her the demon girl. As for her weapon, she seems to be using a baseball bat. From what I can see on her skill animations, she seems to be doing fire damage, which is quite interesting, and I wonder how many elements Ananta will have. Her ultimate seems to be a huge AoE hitting her enemies with her baseball bat. Another character that we have seen a lot but don't know her name yet is this girl that uses a katana as her weapon. One really interesting thing I have noticed about this character's ult is when she uses her ultimate, she summons an arrow and uses her katana as a bow to shoot this arrow. So she has a pretty interesting skill set. On the most recent trailer, we didn't get to see her much, but when I paid special attention to the trailer, I actually realized that she was in the trailer. It turns out that she is actually a drummer, and she was playing for this band. While we can't see her face from this girl has the same outfit and same hair color, so it's got to be her. There is also some characters we barely have any information about, like this pink-haired girl with a burger taking a photo of the main character, this red-haired girl darting with the main character, this girl with the blue hair walking down the stairs in the dark towards the main character, which is either a playable character or a villain, and this girl with the red hair and wearing glasses, which we have only seen in a picture so far. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Peace out.